I understand that there's a lot to be outraged about right now. Not only the outright fascism from Donald Trump, the complete capitulation of the Republicans, the fact that they are outright collaborators with fascism, but also the complete fecklessness, spinelessness, and incompetence of the Democrats. Not all of them, but enough of them that it's very disheartening. And I don't want to make it sound like your anger is unjustified or that anger cannot be useful, because we know that anger and hope, those are the two most important emotions in resistance work. Like that's what keeps driving you. It's really good to have a healthy combination of both. We cannot be subsumed with our rage and let that entirely drive us, right? We have to have a positive vision for what we want for the future. We have to have hope for a better America. We're not on like a revenge tour here. We have to always have in our minds the vision of the future we want to bring about, the future that our children deserve, liberty and justice for all. And I know I've talked in the past about how my outlook is entirely spiteful optimism. The fascists want us to be demoralized. They want us to lay down and give up. The propaganda of any fascist machine is meant to demoralize you. If you give up, that's a victory for them. And why the hell would I ever give any of them a single thing? Why the hell would I give any of them a victory? So there's only so long that I can operate out of pure rage. I had it for a whole day on blue sky, and I still have a large quantity of it. I'm trying to convert it into something productive, but I still have a large quantity of it for establishment Democrats. Sorry for the sound of the dogs getting their dinner. My bedroom's right off the kitchen. Right, if I have these really strong emotions, I want to make sure that they are driving me toward the goals that are really important. And I want to make sure that I'm not letting my emotions run me in a way that hands the fascists a victory. And I think about the ways that the Surrender Dems betrayed all of us on Sunday, and how a lot of people are just feeling very betrayed. They're feeling very heartbroken. They maybe extended some measure of cautious optimism and trust to our elected representatives, and trusting that senators would actually have a spine this time. And I think a lot of people, including myself, have at least a tiny measure of feeling like, oh, I should have known better. And I think I did see this coming. There was reporting back in the first week of September that House Democrats were concerned, even before the shutdown, that Chuck Schumer would not hold out, that he would cave. Right? House Democrats have been worried since the beginning that Senate Democrats would fuck all of us over. And it's so hard when what we need and what we deserve, y'all, is a united opposition party. This task of defeating the fascists would be so much easier if we actually had a united opposition party. And it really, really sucks that we are now going to have to build that party. We're going to have to clean house with the Democrats, because too many of them are fucking Neville Chamberlains. They're fucking Vichy France. They're not actually fighting on our side at all. They're fighting for corporate interest, billionaire interest. And the billionaires right now, they really like fascism. They really like what Donald Trump is doing. Maybe I should talk about how well that turned out for the super rich under the Third Reich, because there comes a point at which the super rich, it doesn't work out so well for them. But right now, it's really difficult to have the reality of the situation be that we don't have a unified opposition party, that we don't actually have an ally in every single elected Democrat. They may posture like they're our allies, but then they betray us every time. They sell us out for Walmart and the airlines, and they sell us out for dark money. They sell us out for AIPAC. They undermine democracy and they undermine our rights at a time when they should be our elected representatives. And that's hard and it sucks, but there's only so long we can just be full of rage and not take that rage and convert it into something that helps move us forward. When I look at things through my permaculture lens, I'm always thinking, how can the problem be the solution? That's like my mantra. The problem is the solution. The problem is the solution. Okay, the problem here is that too many Democrats don't give a shit about us. Too many Democrats are not actually representing the people. They are bought and paid for by dark money. Too many Democrats are not equipped to meet the moment. They're not fighters. Okay, so if I have all of these data points about the problem, and we got so many more data points on Sunday, instead of having that give the fascists a victory, instead of having that demoralize us to the point of inaction, instead of letting that cause us to give up, we take those data points and we craft a new strategy. Indivisible is running indivisible2026.org. Their strategy is to remove Chuck Schumer. And also, we're going to primary all these fuckers who aren't actually on our side, because we deserve a united opposition party. We deserve allies who are trustworthy. And I think that's great. That's wonderful strategy. I know I've said this before, but like I agree with Ezra and Leah from Indivisible like 99% of the time. That's one of the reasons I'm an Indivisible member. One of the reasons that I'm such a strong supporter of theirs. People have asked me if they sponsor me, or they're like, I'm like paid to talk up their position. No, I just really believe in the work that they're doing. And I also think that Ezra and Leah consistently have a take that is strategic and also moral. So I think that that is something we all need to be investing in. I'm so sorry that we have to extend this extra labor. I'm sorry that the people we should be able to count on are just not going to be there for us, either because they're corrupt or they're inept or both. But it's good that we realize this now at this moment in time, and we adjust our strategy. We say, this is where we need to be. We need to go from where we are in this current position. We need to go to a state where we have a restoration of democracy, a stable government, and we get the kind of reforms that we, the American people, deserve, so that we have representation in government. We have a country that works for us and not the billionaires, right? That's what we deserve. So what do we need to do to get from here to here? The more information we have, the more we can hone and craft an effective strategy. We can let every setback, we can let every betrayal be the problem that is the solution. And it would be nice if we didn't have to do this extra work of having to reform the Democratic Party, whether it's a Tea Party, populist takeover, whether it is making sure that we put tons of, not whether it is, and also is us putting tons of energy into the primary and getting these corrupt, bought and paid for establishment Dems out. Yeah, it sucks that we have to do that labor. It sucks that we are constantly expending energy that we could be putting directly toward fighting the fascists, but I want you to reframe that a little bit. We were never going to get out of this and get the kind of future that we needed as long as there was corruption in the Democratic Party. As long as the Democrats continue to be a bunch of losers who allow their leadership to be wholly unqualified and incapable, we were never going to get out of this. And we were never going to have a future where there was justice, where we have the American Nuremberg trials for what Republicans and ICE and Donald Trump are doing now. I actually feel really cautiously optimistic about reforms in the Democratic Party, because I want the kind of elected representatives who are not afraid to do the necessary work in the future that comes after Donald Trump's era. I want representatives in government who are not going to Merrick Garland the future of this country. When the time comes for accountability and for justice for what ICE and the Republicans are doing right now, I don't want to have the Surrender Dems in charge, because they will fuck us all over. They will try and sweep it under the rug. They will not commit to getting justice. They will be timid, cautious, spineless little Merrick Garlands, and that is not what we need. Because that would just set us up for a perpetual cycle where people are denied justice, where the Republicans can come back in, where corruption can come back in, where dark money can continue to run things, where we don't have justice for the American people, where the immigrants who are being brutalized now do not get restitution, where recompense is not something that we have in this. We cannot have a future where that is what happens. We have to have a future where there is justice for what is being done now. So for me, I look at what the Democrats are doing to show us all of the ways that they are not qualified to be the leaders in the future who get that justice for us and get those reforms that we need. And I'm glad we're finding that out now. It feels really painful right now. It feels like we're all really tired and we don't have the energy for these sort of reforms and this sort of work, because it's already exhausting fighting the Republicans. I'm sorry that it is a war on two fronts, basically. But I think that it's going to be good for us overall. I think that this is going to help us bring about the kind of future that we need. It's good that we got these data points. It's good that we found out now. And we have to remind ourselves that we, the people, are the ones who have power. We, the people, are the ones who are going to save ourselves. Sunday was a reminder of that. Sunday was a reminder of the kind of leadership representation that we need and deserve. And now we get to organize and strategize to get that, both to get us out of fascism, but also to help us build the America that we deserve to have, to help us build our future, a future with justice, a future with accountability, a future with restoration, because that's the future that I want. And these corporate Democrats were never going to give it to us. And it's good that we found that out now. So please don't be discouraged. Please don't be discouraged. We have to lean into each other. We have to take the information that we have and move forward.